There are a lot of ways of looking at the Cunning Little Vixen, but my favorite is that it is the journey of a woman's discovery of herself and her purpose in the world. You know, we meet her as a child, take her through adolescence, and then to motherhood. It feels like a very complete story in many ways. We have worked very hard and brought incredible resources to bear to create a really complete and immersive world for the audience.
This is the second opera that we have worked on with Oyoram, who is a visual composer, together with Christine McIntyre and the rest of the design team. We have Luke Contarella, who is an incredible scenic designer, and Kate Ashton, a remarkable lighting designer. Their work has to all unite harmoniously with Oyoram's work. We always want to be stretching and trying new things and pushing the art form. Technology is a part of our world, and it needs to be part of the opera world as well. Some operas lend themselves to that more than others, and certainly Bluebeard's Castle, which we did in 2023, was one of those, and we believe that The Cunning Little Vixen is an opera in which the technological aspects of the production are additive to the storytelling.
One of the great things about working with Oyoram here in Des Moines is that he has a digital film studio right in his house. And he loves having us come up and see what it is we can film with all of his fancy technology that we can then integrate into the opera.
Designing the dragonfly was particularly interesting because this costume went on a professional dancer that actually dances a lot throughout the show. And one of the more challenging pieces that we had to figure out how to develop is her head mask, because dragonflies have these large eyes. But then, you know, the dancer also needs to see where she's going.
I think that it's important to create balance, and the balance to the viewer is the storytelling. So when the background should not move, it doesn't move, because then we are in front and we see our fantastic actor and singer performing. We are submitted to the time that is given us by the orchestra and the singer and the breathing. It's a biological event, you know. So this, for me, was discovering that actually the whole movie is fragmented to small clips that are attached to each other, and in this way allowed us to master time.
Most of the vocal writing is actually based on the melodies and rhythms of speech. You know, in a lot of opera, you might take one word and sing that word over several notes. But in Janacek, there's usually a one-to-one note to syllable correspondence. It's a collective storytelling experience, and opera is always like that, but it feels particularly visceral here and in our theater, and I feel blessed to get to work with such talented and engaged musicians.
There's no bad guy. Everyone is coming at this messy world that collides from a very real experience that isn't necessarily good or bad. The moral of the story and the cyclical nature of the story, it invites the listener to contemplate the impact that our different perspectives have on each other. I think the opera is really, at its core, like a really empathic story.
We first meet the young Vixen as a child, and then we meet her daughter in the final scene. And so you get built right into the storytelling, this amazing sense of the cycle of life. The little frog that sings at the end is meant to be the grandchild of the original frog, a revelation that sends the forester into a state of kind of Buddhistic bliss as he understands that there is this interconnectedness of all things.
The line, is it a fairy tale or is it real? It comes in the final scene of the opera. When he finds out that the Vixen has been killed, I think suddenly feels very old, very alone and depressed. And then when he arrives in the woods, he finds himself re-energized and recharged. By the time he gets into the woods, it's like, you know what, life isn't that bad. Yes, I'm not 25 anymore, but actually I've gained a wider knowledge and experience and appreciation of the life and the world around me.
We are such important individuals. Everybody is so special. but we are also very small compared to the world. There's always greater than us. The most fascinating thing in this entire opera, for me, in my opinion, at the end of Vixen's death, there's no grand finale, because music has to continue and the life has to continue. I think everyone has their wild in us. I think that's the metaphor of this opera. Just bring your wildness, bring your freedom. Don't be so wimp in life. Be vulnerable and dare to live fully and love it. Then you'll find your peace.